maybe this summer you'll get Bron, maybe you'll get Kawhi, maybe you'll get PG. Guess what he says? We don't need anyone else to complete our roster. Fully loaded with assets. And look, as I said, they could free up close to $30 million in cap space. Do you all agree, though, Paul? Do you think that if Paul George, do you think they need to pursue him in free agency? LeBron, if he opts out?
You know what? The way they got their chemistry down with this group right here, I don't think they need nobody else. They have their superstars. You got Ben Simmons, you got Embiid, I mean, and then you got the veterans around them. I mean, you look at Ilyasova, you look at Bellinelli. I mean, you look at, they're solid all around the board. I mean, Dario Saric, Covington, I mean, these guys are young.
Number 1 overall pick.
Let them grow together. Let them grow together. Think about it. If they get to the conference finals this year, this is the first year this team has been together, and they're all young. This team for the next 3 or 4 years, along with Boston, are going to rule the East.
So, Tony, if you had that roster, if you were on this team with that roster, would you say no to LeBron James or Paul George if they want to come join your team?
I mean, I can never say no to those. However, though, I do like the fact that Joel Embiid has motivated the team and let all the guys know that he's riding with them and he's Philadelphia Sixers crazy. So it only helps the next year, I believe. And if you have a guy like LeBron come, we already know his style of play. We know what he brings, and it only helps, I believe.
But I'm saying you put Ben Simmons, then that means you're taking Ben Simmons off the ball.
Exactly.
I don't like that. That's what I'm saying. Ben Simmons has been spectacular with the ball.
You know what? I don't know what they'll do, but they got $25 to $30 million under the cap. They put themselves in an unbelievable position. I mean, their future, and Abid said our future is now, and I love the way he thinks. You know, the process is taking place. The process has gotten them to this particular point, and their future is bright. You know, son, your future is bright because you guys are going to be together for a long time, and you're going to be good for a long time. But if you got Paul or you got LeBron that are entertaining the possibility, you got to at least listen. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you got to jump the gun and say we're going to take those guys and mess up the chemistry that we already have, but you have to entertain the thought of having one of those 2 guys on your team and see how it affects your team. I love what they are right now as a basketball team. I love the culture they have in that locker room. They got 2 superstars and a young one that we really didn't see. Markel Fultz, we really haven't seen him. We saw, you know, little glimpses of him during the season. If that kid is completely healthy, that's another kid that can be a star on this team. So you might be right, Paul. They might not need anything.
I don't think they need anything.
Now, he didn't, of course, we have to say, again, Joel did not specifically say, I don't want LeBron James or I don't want Kawhi if he's available or whatever, but he did say, stood up for his guys, as you said,
I don't want
Tony,
nobody.
I like my guys.
I like my guys.
I like my guys.
We're going to get to the Celtics because they said this morning Marcus Smart has been cleared for contact, will play in tonight's Game 5 against the Bucks if he feels good enough after going through shoot-around and warm-ups. Smart has been sidelined since mid-March with a torn ligament in his thumb. So I'm talking to 2 former Celtics here. I know you guys like the idea. They get a little bit of a backup tonight for your old team. But I want to get to the old team because, y'all, that history you guys have together. I covered this 2008 team. I love these guys together. Woo. Back as a rookie, 2004 in Boston. We heard stories from that. So why don't you just give it to us where he offered you money for points in Summer League. And then I also want to hear about the $30,000 watch.
Yeah, he did that. He did that was my, what you call it, one of my veterans. So I had to respect him as much as possible. When he walked in the gym that specific day, I was in awe. I was like, yo, that's Paul Pierce. And
he would legend.
I didn't heard about this, Rook, so I said, you know, I never go to Summer League. Never. I said,
okay.
Man, let me go to Summer League, check this cat out from Chicago. Let me see what he about. You know, he played in the Big 12 like I did. Let me check him out. He was out there dunking. And I'm like, hey, Rook, man, you get about 3 more dunks, man. You can have my watch. Or something, man. You out here shining.
No, it was for the cash at first. The watch didn't come till All-Star.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But
so the cash, the first he was like, if you keep scoring, I'll give you some money for
he said, if you get 5 dunks, I got 100 for every dunk.
Ooh.
All right.
I said, what? I hadn't even had an NBA check yet, so
man,
I'm like, yo, Pete, thanks.
Take you up on that.
So went up and got it.
Yep.
And I got 5 dunks.
And then I told him, I said, look, if you make the all-rookie game,
At
I'll
all
let you. He used to always talk about, man, that's a nice watch every day. Every day I had this nice little watch. He said, P, that's a nice watch.
Nice
I said,
little
man,
watch.
you know what,
Nice
man? You
little
make the all rookie game.
$30,000 watch.
You
But
make
nice
the
little
all
watch.
rookie game, man. You can have this watch. That man went out there and made I didn't think he was gonna make it. I didn't think he was gonna have, you know, the minutes to get there. And he earned the minutes, went out there and
When
balled
did you
up.
collect the watch from him?
Oh, right.
That same day, son. That same day.
I ain't mad at you. And you just gave it to him.
Oh,
too.
man, go ahead,
Here you
Rook.
go, huh?
Go ahead, Rook.
Yeah, that was, and I still got that watch, man.
How
I
did
said,
it
go
change
home,
your
Rook.
game to go up against him in practice?
Well, first going up against him was tough. I had to get through the mental part of it because he talking trash the whole time.
In practice?
Yeah, TA.
Every day.
TA, what you gonna do to guard me today? Like, you got enough in you today? I'm like, yo, every day. So you get past that part, and then everything else is just, man, it's a battle.
Well, he's got such variety to his game. That's one of the things I think has always been Paul's strength, that you have to kind of know how to guard
it's
anything.
a reason the way he first team all D. First of all, he had to guard me every day.
I love how you
Mentally
take
and
credit.
physically.
That's not the reason he was first
that's
team
one of the-
all.
that's one of the reasons.
He's the reason he was first.
But he had to go through the flame.
Right.
He had to guard me.
That's the process.
That's the process. Then he had to guard Ray Allen. So think about it. You got to guard these two future Hall of Famers every single day. So it's like, man, he can't help but to get better.
Paul, I got a question for Tony, though. So TA, you had to guard this man every day.
Right.
Who was harder to guard, Paul Pierce or Kobe Bryant?
Ooh.
Man, I ain't never got asked that question.
Well, you just did today, so I want to.
You know why? You know what?
That's a good one, though, because you guard him every day.
He had to guard me every
and
day.
Kobe gave you the ultimate props.
That's
that
right.
you the best that ever guarded. So who was the toughest?
One thing I can't say about both of them guys, there's only three things gonna happen when they get the ball. Either they gonna score, get fouled, or get an assist. That I do know.
I used to tell him, oh, that's how I used to start off practice.
That I do know.
Look how I would come in practice. I said, who guard me today? That's the first thing I yell. He's standing right next to him. I'm like, who got me today? And he's standing right here. I said, it's either going to be a foul or a score. I'm going to assist every time down.
Okay, but you still ain't answered my question. I'm still waiting on that answer.
He's trying to
He's
get
going to be biased to his boy.
I understand, and I ain't mad at that.
I mean, that's why I say I got the groundwork from P. Being in the game with facing Kobe, that was a tough one too.
Right. Well, Kobe Bryant did call you, Tony Allen,
Thanks to him.
toughest defender.
My man.
And it was there you go. It will not surprise you that he is just as much of a handful here at work.
Okay.
We all work together, so there you go. Coming up, we've got Drake starting beef with John Wall. Tony, thank you so much for being here. Give us before you leave, though, I want to hear your thoughts on what happened in this date, 1999. Shout out C. Webb for our second distant replay of the day. Let's get good.
Williams tipped down.
Now, me walking back, see where? Me walking back.
It looked like he was mad at somebody.
Me walking back, see where?
Sean Bradley.
Poor Sean Bradley.
74,
This is all
75,
we
whatever
do,
he
Sean
is.
Bradley. I feel so bad for him.
C-Webb, big shout out to C-Webb.
Right?
That's my boy.
Yep. He's around.
This may look like a car, but it's not.